I'm gonna get him. He's too little. He's too little. I'm gonna get him.
Makhachev is so good. He's so good that he head kicked Alexander Volkanovski in the rematch. He submits everybody. He submitted Dustin Poirier. He's a monster. When he gets guys on the ground, he just crushes.
Like, he has to work the straight body shots, because that takes away the intentions of the takedown. If he works with the straight body shots,
take him out. I think. But Bilal really just changes stances a lot, walks forward. But I think if I can have someone that just stays in the same stance, and I don't think Islam's the very good striker. I think I could land a lot of shots, and I think I could take him out.
Wow.
Stuff for takedowns. If I get taken down, I believe I can get back to my feet.
Before they were supposed to fight for the title, Jack Della Maddalena made a scary statement against Islam Makhachev. JDM thinks Islam is a weakling that is easy for him to beat. A few weeks ago, Jack Della Maddalena said that Islam Makhachev is too small for him. Jack is sure of himself and promises to show how strong he is if they meet. He is big and strong, and he thinks Islam can't handle him. He has made it clear that he is ready to go after him without fear.
Lightweight champion Islam Makhachev. Talk me through about that particular matchup and what you think and how excited you are to prove yourself yet again.
Yeah, it's the dream first title defense, pound for pound #1. Get him back for Volk. We saw what Volk did to him. I'm gonna get him. He's too little. He's too little. I'm gonna get him.
Alexander Volkanovski, on the other hand, looked at the fight between Jack Della Maddalena and Islam Makhachev and said that Jack's fight with Belal Muhammad helped him a lot. He thinks that stopping Belal's takedowns made Jack feel better about himself and showed that his defense had reached a new level. Volkanovski thinks that even great grapplers will struggle to take Jack down or maintain him there.
Makhachev is going to be fighting Jack Della Maddalena. How do you think those two match up?
I think Jack's fight against Belal was a perfect fight for leading into that. Just purely, you take a lot out of stop and takedowns, because again, every fighter's still going to have little doubts that are going to creep in. I'm sure Jack was going through that, being like, all right, worried about, what if he takes me down and all that. But the fact that he was able to stop it and feel so comfortable, I guarantee you he's leveled up again. His confidence in his takedowns has just went up significantly leading into this fight. I think his confidence is going to be at a whole nother level. So through camp, I guarantee you, if he's back in training right now, people trying to take him down are going to find it almost impossible. Only the top guys are going to have a chance of taking him down, and they're going to have a very hard time even holding him down.
Jorge Masvidal also expressed his views and leanings toward Islam Makhachev over Jack Della Maddalena. He thought Jack's defense against Belal's strikes and takedowns was great, but he thinks Islam's wrestling is better. Jorge thinks Jack has better hands at first, but that Islam's pressure and wrestling will win the fight in the end.
Islam, bro, he's a big guy. He's had a lot of weight to get to 55. I think he might start doing better at 70. Problem is though, Jack is special. We're gonna see just how special he is if he beats Islam Jack, #1 pound for, wow, that's impressive, I'm leaning towards Islam, brother.
Oh, really?
But I really think it's gonna be a tough fight for him, but a great fight, man.
Jack was able to defend takedown attempts by Bilal.
Bilal has the best cardio in MMA, but Bilal doesn't have Islam's technique. Not same technique, not same. Very good, very aggressive. Bilal never stops a dog. Attack. But Islam is smart, man. Boom. Islam's level of wrestling is above. His stand-up game is improving. I don't think he can go stand-up in the beginning with Jack. Jack has way better hands, way better range, faster, stronger. But as the rounds go on later and later, he could do it.
Meanwhile, Joe Rogan praised Islam Makhachev as a huge, powerful man who amazes him every time he sees him lift 155 pounds. Rogan praised Islam's thick body, big back, and incredible strength when grabbing opponents, adding his squeeze and leverage are overwhelming.
Interview him in the cage afterwards, I'm always like, how?
Really?
How are you 155?
Yeah.
How?
I know.
How?
I know.
He's thick as He's got a giant back.
Yeah.
And when he gets a hold of guys, it's like he's just got this leverage, this grappling squeeze that it's... I remember when he fought Drew Dober, and like when he got Dober down to the ground, I was like, that's a wrap.
Joe Rogan lauded Islam Makhachev's striking for becoming into a real weapon, rather than merely an add-on to his wrestling style. He mentioned Islam's head kick finish versus Volkanovski as an excellent example of his improvement in fighting IQ. Rogan also stated that he would not have advised Volkanovski to take that fight on such short notice, regardless of how tough or confident he felt, since Islam is too sharp and dangerous to face unprepared.
Threat everywhere. Like when he knocked out Volk with that high kick.
Yeah,
And
that was
crazy. But granted, if I was in Volk's corner, I would say, no.
I know.
You're not taking it. You've been drinking beer and eating kebabs. Like, there's no way you're taking this fight on 10 days' notice. I don't care how confident you are. I don't care how much you like fighting. That's a crazy thing. I don't care how much money they're paying you. Because you look at the slide that his career took, right? He arguably won that first fight with Islam. Very close fight. Loses a decision. Or was it a draw?
It was a decision. Shit, was it a draw? That's actually a good question.
On the other hand, Ilia Topuria was recently asked about Islam Makhachev's fight against Jack Della Maddalena and how he sees Islam performing at welterweight. However, Ilia made it clear that he doesn't care. He mentioned that fighting holds no fascination for him and is not something he considers.
Islam Makhachev will do it 170 when he fights Jack Della Maddalena.
I don't know. I don't care, to be honest. I never thought about that.
Ilia Topuria offered some tough counsel to Jack Della Maddalena on how to deal with Islam Makhachev. He suggested that Jack use straight shots on Islam's body to hinder his takedown attempts and prevent him from shooting. Ilia stressed how strong body work may disrupt the wrestler's plan. He also praised Jack's hitting style, stating he enjoys seeing him fight and thinks this approach would give him a fair chance.
Advice for Jack, who might be coming up against Islam Makhachev next?
The advice, like, he has to work the straight body shots, because that takes away the intentions of the takedown. If he works with the straight body shots, he's gonna stop his intentions of the takedowns. And he's doing a great job at striking. I like how he fights.
Furthermore, Philip Rowe feels Jack Della Maddalena will beat Islam Makhachev. He added that Islam isn't large enough for welterweight and thinks JDM would recover from takedowns and overwhelm Islam with his power. Rowe predicted that JDM would finally stop him.
Philip Rowe, what's cracking, man? Chillin'. Hey, now listen, you're welterweight. You've been in the game a long time. Islam moving up to 170. Is he big enough for 170?
My personal opinion, I don't think he is, but he's a champ. We'll see when he's there. You know what I'm saying? He has a fight. He's fighting the champ. That's the best 170 in the world right now, right? So we'll see.
So you don't think he has the size, but how do you think he does in a fight versus JDM?
I personally think JDM beats him. I think JDM will be able to get up if he does take him down. I don't think he'll be able to take JDM shots. I think personally he'll stop at this.
Dustin Poirier addressed how about between Jack Della Maddalena and Islam Makhachev would play out. He thinks the outcome depends on the early rounds. If Islam manages to bring Jack down, he thinks Islam will win, but if Jack can halt the takedowns, Dustin thinks his quick boxing and aggressiveness will cause Islam serious problems. He also noted that, while Islam's striking may appear uncomfortable, it works because opponents are constantly concerned about the takedown threat, preventing them from fully committing to their strikes.
Think he beats Jack Della Maddalena?
I think we'll find out first, second round how much trouble he has getting him down. I think if he gets those takedowns, he's gonna get the win. If Jack can stop those takedowns, which he does have good takedown defense, I think the boxing and the size could wear on Islam and give him some problems. But his striking's, awkward and different. You have to worry so much about the takedown. You can't plant your feet and throw off those number combinations and really rip and sit on your punches, because he's going to change levels. So it changes the way you fight. Well, for me, it did. I'm speaking from experience. So we'll see how Jack approaches and how Jack executes out there. But if you're worried about takedowns, your shots are different. You're not sitting on everything and standing in front of the guy. You're trying to move and be light on your feet. I think the first 2 rounds will tell us how this fight's.
Meanwhile, Daniel Cormier called Jack Della Maddalena versus Islam Makhachev as a high-stakes, thrilling fight. He commended Jack's recent effort and said that Islam is yet to be challenged at welterweight. Cormier questioned Islam's ability to handle Jack's natural stature and whether he would have enough time to physically adjust to the weight gain.
Fantastic fight. It's a big-time fight. And if Jack Della looks the way he did last weekend, it's very, very intriguing fight. Because we've never seen Islam Makhachev fight up at 170 pounds. We've never seen it. We've never seen him have to compete up 15 more pounds. Yes, he is a big dude. But in terms of full-on stature, is he big as Jack Della Maddalena is? And also, if he thought he may fight International Fight Week, how small had he gotten? And how much time does he have to put the weight back on the right way before he moves up to 170?
Daniel Cormier emphasized that the true intrigue surrounding a potential Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena battle comes from the story more than the methods. Jack recently won the welterweight champion after defeating Belal Muhammad. While Islam is a powerful lightweight champion looking to advance, Cormier thinks the clash of travels and the drama around it make the fight truly unique and a must-see for fans.
A lot of questions. It's a big-time fight, and we'll get into the X's and O's as we get closer. But right now, we're talking the story. We're talking the story. We're talking about a guy that just beat Belal Muhammad to become champion, now getting challenged by a 155-pound champion.
Charles Oliveira also described Jack Della Maddalena as dangerous because he does not rush finishes, but instead works methodically against opponents, as demonstrated in his fight with Belal Muhammad. At the same time, Oliveira thinks Islam Makhachev will perform well at welterweight, citing his strength and ability to rely heavily on grappling. He thinks the fight will come down to whether Jack can stand or Islam will enforce his ground game.
Acho que ganha entre o Jack Della Maddalena e o Islam.
Maddalena, ele é um jogo muito complicado, porque ele é um cara que ele não vem pra te nocautear rápido, ele vem pra te finalizar, ele vem te magoando, né?
Aos poucos, né?
Aos poucos. Foi o que ele fez agora na luta contra o Bilal. Só que eu acho que o Islam vai se dar muito bem nessa categoria, né, mano? Agora vai estar muito mais forte, é um jogo que, tipo, ele gosta de agarrar e botar pra baixo. Eu acho que o Jack Maddalena fazia a mesma luta que ele fez, né? Agora contra o Bilal, batendo, movimentando, saindo, machucando, é uma luta, mas se deixar o Isla agarrar e botar pra baixo...
However, Robert Whitaker noted that it is difficult to predict how Islam Makhachev will respond at welterweight because moving up always introduces unknowns. He stressed that a new division has new physical and tactical obstacles. Despite this, Whitaker stated that he completely trusts Islam's abilities and thinks he can do anything Belal Muhammad does, only better.
Like I said, it is hard to try to get like an accurate gauge on what it's going to look like, not knowing how Islam is going to look when he moves up. Okay, it's always the question everybody asks when anybody is moving up a weight division or down a weight division, okay? There's so many unknowns involved. But saying that, I think that Islam can do everything that Belal does, but way better. Okay, way.
Gilbert Burns backed Islam Makhachev's shift to welterweight, saying 170 pounds suited him better, especially given his difficult weight cuts at lightweight. While Burns lauded Islam as the best pound-for-pound fighter, he cautioned that the fight against Jack Della Maddalena could be closer than people think. He brought up Jack's training with stars, like as Alexander Volkanovski and Craig Jones, which makes him even more dangerous. Burns expects a highly competitive bout, despite the fact that he has yet to completely examine it.
He's working very hard. He's been saying vocal that he wants to go up to 170. I think he's a big boy. He killed himself to make 55. I think that's the right division for Islam. He just tweeted something after the fight that he will not vacate the title, and then he vacated the title. I don't know, but probably that was in the negotiation. Yeah, I like him moving up. I've proven himself. He's number one pound for pound right now. It's a good fight. Jack and Islam closer than people think, especially with Jack Della Maddalena doing a lot of training with Volk, with Craig Jones, those guys that kind of back the Islam on that first Volk fight. I think they're gonna have a lot of info, a lot of study, a lot of answers. It's closer than people think, this fight. I really like this fight. I don't have time right now. I didn't have time to dip a little too much in that fight, but I think it's way closer than people think, and JDM has a clear shot.
Furthermore, Javier Mendez mentioned a hypothetical fight between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena, acknowledging that it is difficult to predict whether Jack will be the toughest challenge yet. However, he stressed that Islam wants to fight and is fully equipped. Mendez commended Islam's outstanding abilities and determination, adding he's on a different level than anyone Jack has met. He also thinks that welterweight is a perfect fit for Islam's size, and he expects him to be a dominant force in the new division.
It's hard to say. It's hard to say if he's a harder challenge. I just know Islam wants this one. So for me, that's the challenge I want, and it's the challenge that I know Islam's going to be, supreme over, because I just know his skill set. I know what he brings to the table, and he brings an incredible work ethic along with skill set in every area. So, Islam's a whole different animal than Jack's ever been involved with. So if that fight does materialize, we're going to see a hell of a fight, and you're going to see Islam perform at an absolute incredible level. And also, the weight is not super big for him either. So he's going to be a fairly decent welterweight. So Islam won't be a small guy. He'll be a decent welterweight if that fight materializes.
Javier Mendez says Jack Della Maddalena will not be taken easily. He said it was unwise to underestimate Jack, especially after watching his hard-fought victory over Bello Muhammad. Mendez praised Bello's tenacity and underlined their ability to absorb big shots. He added that their squad, which includes Khabib and other instructors, is aware of the danger Jack brings and is planning accordingly.
Coaches think Jack is easier. We're stupid. Yeah, we are very stupid. Then we didn't watch the Bilal fight, because Bilal can take a hell of a shot. He can take a hell of a shot, and he took him. And he gave him two. Bilal gave him two. So it was a war. That fight was a war. And you know what? For us to think it's an easy fight for us, what kind of idiot coaches are we? Habib's not an idiot, and neither am I. And neither is Magomed, neither is Saif Safullah and Muhammad, the other coaches that they work with Islam. We're not.
Javier Mendez stated that Jack Della Maddalena is a significant danger because to his size and varied striking arsenal. He noted that Jack can attack with tremendous kicks and punches in ways that keep opponents guessing, while describing Ilia Topuria as the sharper fighter. He rated Jack's overall striking skill as more complete. Mendez emphasized that Islam Makhachev would require perfect preparation to face this job, adding that it is a bout with no margin for error.
The much bigger guy and just as dangerous, if not more dangerous in different variations. Not boxing, because I think Topuria's got the best boxing in the business. I still believe that. But Jack is well versed in the kicking and the arsenal, how he mixes it up. He's really good at head and body, leg, everything. He's really, really good at that. So we have our hands cut out for us. It's not an easy fight at all. If Islam, by some miracle of a chance, makes that fight to be like slam dunk, it's because we were properly prepared, or Jack wasn't as prepared, or Jack was injured, or Jack just got caught. But it's gonna be one of those fights that's not easy. No way in hell is that fight gonna be easy. Very tough fight.
Meanwhile, Navajo Sterling thought Jack Della Maddalena would easily defeat Islam Makhachev in his first welterweight title defense. He thought Jack's stature and power would overwhelm Islam, restricting his wrestling ability. Sterling also stated that if Jack wins, the buzz about a potential Islam Topuria fight will evaporate quickly. In his view, Islam was in for a difficult night.
JDM to win. Now he's got a big challenge in his first title defense against Islam. Do you think he's got what it takes to beat an Islam Makhachev in his first defense?
People are going to say it's a wild take, but I reckon JDM smokes Islam. Shins him so bad. It's going to be so bad that the Topuria Islam thing will just be gone.
So you think Islam's wrestling won't be a threat to JDM just because he's a lot bigger?
He's a lot bigger, and when you watch JDM, you put him on the end of mid-range, he's just going to throw. It's hard to shoot in on. He's not going to be able to just abuse his size against him either. I think Islam's in for a rude awakening.
However, Dan Hardy rated the bout between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena as one of the most entertaining super fights of all time, second only to Jones versus Aspinall. He's excited to see Islam try himself at welterweight, but wonders if the UFC will allow him hold the lightweight belt after their recent push against double champions.
I thought he was very, very impressive. It would be awesome to see Makhachev move up and fight him. I did see that Makhachev said he's not gonna relinquish his lightweight belt. So I don't know how that's gonna fly with the UFC, because I think they're putting a stop on double champs now, aren't they? But it would be a fight I would love to see. That's probably one of the best super fights you could make right now, aside from obviously John Jones against Tom Aspinall, which is the blockbuster.
Dan Hardy raised doubts that Islam Makhachev could beat Jack Della Maddalena at welterweight, while he praised Islam's dominance at lightweight. He questioned whether that performance would carry over to the next class, and how long Jack could retain the belt.
I think Della Maddalena's got a bright future. I don't know whether he's going to hold the belt or he's going to lose it to another one of the top contenders and then pick it back up again. I don't think he's going to lose it to Makhachev, though. I think Makhachev holds the lightweight belt against anybody in the world, on any day, including Ilia Topuria. I don't think if he moved up, he would have much success against Makhachev.
Ian Machado Gary also found the bout between Jack Della Maddalena and Islam Makhachev difficult to predict. He admired Islam's general game, but said that adding 15 pounds could change everything. Gary mentioned Jack's size advantage, powerful boxing, and takedown defense as key factors. Nonetheless, he views Islam as the favorite due to his outstanding abilities.
Who wins, Jack or Islam?
It's such a tough one to talk about. Islam is phenomenal. He's good everywhere. Size matters. When you're talking about an extra 15 pounds, when you look at the size of Volkanovski versus Jack Della Maddalena, there's a big size discrepancy. And Volk gave him a good fight. And then Dustin Poirier, it wasn't absolutely completely dominant by Islam. It was a tough fight. Size is going to play a huge part. Even on the ground, I feel like Jack could get it done with just some clean boxing and good takedown defense. But I can absolutely see Islam coming in and doing what Islam does and going out there and just looks like the phenomenal mixed martial artist he is.
So that's all we have from today's video. Hopefully you liked it. Share your views and predictions for this fight in the comments below and subscribe to our channel for more information on this highly anticipated matchup.